and welcome back to This is Factorio.17 with me, Nuglet. Last episode we left off with a mysterious sulfur problem, which I went to go investigate, and the dumbest possible reason for this being the case. When I redid all of the oil stuff, I didn't connect the sulfur to the pipes at all, so this was totally disconnected from the tank down here. Now it's all hunky-dory and everything's working fine. So took me 2 seconds to fix. Just a dumb mistake. Everything is working pretty smoothly. Oh, apparently I missed some lights here. Best thing about having bots, they show you where all your mistakes are that you made 100 years ago with ghosts. Everywhere I drive around, it's like occasionally a little inserter will just fly out of my inventory and get placed. And it's like, oh, cool, optimized. So I've done a little bit since last time, not too much, but one of the big things I wanted to figure out is you'll notice there's no research laboratory here. It's because I created a new setup, and I wanted to be a little more fun with the research setup without so much regard to efficiency. So I made a little funky triangle, which by the way was so hard to wire. Very, very difficult to wire this thing. Look how messy it is. All these little tiny gaps. But in the end, it is a regular pattern, a repeatable pattern. So anyway, I don't recommend building a off-kilter triangle shape in Factorio. It's super hard. So then I pushed all the belts of science over to a unified place and have them all coming in. So they bottleneck in on one machine, and then that machine distributes to the rest of the machines. So it's not fast, but oh, damage. This area is getting hit pretty hard. You can see the pollution goes across the water here, and it just brings all of these bases. So it's getting pretty nasty, like really thick encampments real close to the base. Our stone base is probably actually going to get hurt. I need to go out there and do some infrastructural stuff. No big deal though. The stone's not a bottleneck by any means. Yeah. So let's kick off some research here and see how fast it goes. Shouldn't be very fast, but who cares? Logistics system. I've been looking forward to this. They're already loaded up with science, so maybe they just keep up because it doesn't take that long to transfer. One of the fun things about this, oh yeah, look at that synchronization. Once it gets down to just a couple of individual science packs, it's like a little game of Plinko. You can see the arms just moving like one at a time. It's kind of random which one goes which way, but pretty fun. And I like the way the edge lights up in this, like, you know, pretty cool. I should build more stuff like that. I was getting kind of sick. You know, last episode we just spent pretty much building the most boring rectangular copy-paste machines ever. And then once you get bots, it's like those copy-paste machines are even that much more inane because you just place them down and they're fine. But yeah, I want to focus this time on getting a few things that we haven't crafted yet. So setting up another mini-mall maybe with a few things like roboports and some assembling machine 3s, and I'm not going to do modules yet. I'm going to save that for later, and maybe start building some nuclear stuff. I haven't quite decided yet what's going to go in, but definitely the logistics chests are going to be a part of this as well. So a lot of this is going to be about getting roboports set up so that my perimeter can self-repair, and I don't have to worry so much about running out of ammo or turrets being destroyed, etc., etc. So yeah, so let's get started with that. You know, I think I'm starting to come to a realization here that we are almost done with our starter base. It might be time to start thinking about letting this bus end and working on a modular mega base. And the reason I say that is because I actually really want to do a proper shopping mall where I have one of everything and the bots are just doing the building for me. That's what I'd really like to do. So I'm thinking I might pull off a lane of each and every material I have on the bus, minus the liquids, and build a shopping mall with that stuff. And I might need to supplement it. For instance, I don't have any like grenades up on the bus, so I might need to supplement it with some machines. But all in all, I think we have a lot of stuff here. We can do a bot builder shopping mall. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna set that up. I'm gonna bring all the materials over, and then I'll start working on it in just a sec. All right, we're just coming in here with the last couple of ingredients. So the way that this is gonna work, by the way, is that all of these are gonna get stocked in a chest that will provide its contents to the bot network. So we need at least a substation here, yeah, for sure. Or let's do this. Oh, you know what I'm realizing? We don't have low density structures. All right, one more quick sec. All right, we need flying frames and low density structures here to make this complete. At least as complete as it can be right now. Looks like we got room for one more ingredient with this substation. Okie dokie. So, I see these are all ready to hand me their ingredients, but I don't have the chests. Passive providers. These are the ones that we want. I don't have the chests to do this yet, but I grabbed a bunch of circuits and a bunch of chests. So, I'm just going to make a few of these, and then we should be good to go. We need to put buffers on these. The iron buffer is going to be really high. Green circuits, pretty high. Copper, pretty high. All the cheap stuff that we don't care about very much, it'll have a really high buffer. All right, so we are busily destroying our bus and sucking up all these materials. Look at that plastic go. A lot of these materials just aren't used this low in the bus, so it's kind of just a free-for-all. And it is, after all, the last place that these materials go. So it's not going to slow our production down very much. So as you can see, these all want a RoboPort, and we don't have one, but we do have the stuff to make it. Oh, I don't have gears. I'll have to make some gears, but other than that. So once we get the RoboPort built here, we'll need to craft some logistics bots to get these guys flying. So I'll be right back. See if we can't drain this base dry. 228, not bad. And they were still charging. Wow, not too shabby. I'll try to stay on top of this research. Actually, let me queue up some stuff here. Okie dokie, let's build this bad boy here. This RoboPort is our first ever RoboPort. Put 10 bots in there. I need a lot more bots, but one of the first things we're gonna make automatically is bots, and then subsequently RoboPorts, so we can continue to produce the things that we need to produce. We'll start with cheap assembling machines, and we'll move on to the more and more expensive as we go. I need to make a bunch of wire to make this work here. So, all right, so first things first, logistics bots. They require these things, which we will request from the system and then provide passively. So each one of these things, oh, I gotta make all these cables before I can build my chests. And we'll do stack inserters here and fast inserters here. So we will request materials from the system, and we will provide the result to the system. And we need to wire this one to this one. So you can shift right click and left click to say, hey, I want stuff. I don't think this needs to have a buffer on it, because what we're going to put a buffer on is this. So this is going to keep making logistics bots and placing them in here as long as the number of logistics bots is under 100. So we always want 100 bots. So now it's going to place bots in here until it reaches 100. And then we're going to take some out to make this faster, actually. All right, how are we doing on power now? So 228. It feels like we're maxed out at 228. We're crafting basically everything that we can think to craft in our base, and we are charging the accumulators, which is amazing. That'll turn around soon, I'm sure. Okay. So we're going to copy this and paste it, but we don't really want the settings on this chest to be the exact same. We want to clear the settings of all these things. I need these. We don't want these to bring a bunch of objects here. Nope. Stop requesting. So we want a blank canvas with which to blueprint. Beautiful blueprint here. Cool, good. Nope. We want to save this blueprint as craft, request, provide. Sweet. So we also want construction bots, and we also want roboports. So this is going to be if we have less than 100 construction bots, and this is going to be if we have less than, I don't know, something like maybe 10 roboports. We don't want to do it. We're not like that resource rich that we can afford that. Okay, great. Then you just copy and paste the required materials onto the requested chest, and things will start flying. I am going to take all of these and put them in the system, because this is going to make everything faster. Great. Okay, now we can't afford it. Okay, so at nighttime we do lose what we have. Oh well. So let's put a pause on the research then. So I don't want to turn our base to jelly and make all the resources just disappear. Plastic's having a hard time making its way down here. When science is going, I bet we use pretty much all the plastic. Let's take a look. What's going on up here, guys? Thank you. No. Oh, yeah, we have gas. Why is this? Oh, it's the sulfur is not. Or no. What is this? What is this material that's supposed to be coming in on here? Oh, I broke a line for the coal is no longer coming down here. That is silly. You see how thin the iron's coming through because of the power problems. That's back to normal now. Oh, that's right. I forgot to connect this. I was messing around cleaning up the lines here, and I left it broken. Okay. That should get our plastics back on trastics. Now we go downstairs and just wait for things to catch up. Do some more building things. This thing's not making roboports though. Needs gears. Okay, so these are the kinds of things that we need to create a series of chests, a series of machines that are just doing buffer items like cable coils and gears and stuff like that. So we are going to paste a couple more of these. And you're actually going to want a couple of these per item. because they go through them pretty quick. Okay, and this, if we have cable coils less than, I don't know, a million billion. I think they fit 4,800 in the steel chests. And then same thing for gears. Well, actually, I'll just copy and paste it here and then change it to gears. So I'll have to use the slider. And there we go. Should use up a ton of iron and copper, but it'll enable this to get what it needs. So now gears are coming here, and these are being crafted. Well, they will be. Cool. Cool. All right, this is great. So, you know, we got to worry about resource constraints. Like, obviously, we're not making red chips fast enough to satisfy this requirement here. We're using a lot of these to actually build stuff. So, like, big piles of red chips are coming in here to make roboports. That should stop soon, but the more of these we add, the more that's going to be a problem. So this is not a scalable solution. Hey, plastic's coming in. Especially at night when we run out of power. That accumulator drop off lasts for like a minute before the solar panels start kicking back in again. So I have no power whatsoever, which is real bad. Everything comes to a grinding halt. So we'll need to build a lot more solar panels to keep this going, especially if we want to do research at the same time. All right, so I mentioned this a while back, but I think I'm going to deliver on this promise here of reinstating steam power, coal power, steam power, but a little bit more over to the east over here where there's some spare room. So probably right around here, I'll have the water coming off and the steam right here, which means I need to bring coal over here. I have coal like this. I wonder if I could just bring that over, or if it's going to be too resource constrained. I mean, I have a ton of coal and I'm not doing anything with it. So, all right, so we got 2 lanes of coal coming out. Had to use a blue underground to get the stone back on the belt. I mean, I didn't have to, but whatever. So we have a dedicated lane of coal. This should go to the power plant because we don't want that to run out. These huge rocks, too. You break a huge rock and you get all this stone and coal. It's like, come on, man. What do I want this for? Chop, my little darlings. Oh, you didn't chop fast enough, guys. All right, here we go. This is our new favorite place ever. So, power plant right here. This is actually a really good spot for this. We need to clear out these trees, though. There are way too many trees. Okay. So, we are going to have a line of boilers. So then we need to hook this up to some water. And hopefully I have enough pumps here, but I think I have the stuff to make pumps if not. So we'll just copy and paste this over and over again here. Well, yeah, the pipe's not going to paste, but whatever, it doesn't matter. And then we do this again. Close enough that it connects power lines, but only that close. No closer. All right, so now we have a bunch of pollution being created for all of our friends over here on the east. Look at the amount of bases over here. It's disgusting. So we're going to potentially have a problem with a lot of attacks coming in from here because of this going across the water, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, we'll make some laser turrets and blast those dudes into oblivion. Okay, are these not working? Why not? Oh, they have water. Need water. There we go. Yeah, 60 boilers all doing their thing now. Or 60 steam things. So we should not run out of power now. We should always have our accumulators charged by nighttime, and this should power and supplement the accumulators while they're powering the base at night as well. So cool. See how we're doing down here at the bottom. Oh, I know we're making gears. Let's leave some space here in case I end up with a bunch of gears in my inventory I want to get rid of. You too. All right, one of my big next steps for these guys is to create a RoboPort network around my perimeter and make sure it's always stocked with repair packs and ammo. And that will provide a sustainable defense, as long as we don't take destruction level damage. Even if we do, we could just supply them with turrets as well to replace. Hopefully we don't have to do that, but cool. I think that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for joining. I'll be back.